Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review for this Honor 8X, which is a mid-range Android smartphone. This sells in India for about 15,000, and I've been testing this with my primary SIM, that is Airtel, for the last 7 days. So I'll share my experience and I'll divide it between the pros and the cons so that you can make an informed decision about this one. And when I got this phone, I was a little bit skeptical because this is having a 6.5-inch screen and it has that new processor, that's the high silicon Kirin 710 SoC. So I was not very sure, but I have to say the phone has been performing pretty well and slightly exceeded my expectations. So let's divide it between the pros and cons. Let's talk first about the pros. And the first thing that I really liked about this phone is that generally in this price range, mid-range, the build quality and looks are something that not many manufacturers look at it. So you generally get that cheap build quality. Here, actually, the build quality is really good. And as you can see, in terms of looks also, it looks actually really good. It looks far more expensive than what it is. So in terms of build quality and looks, I would say I'll give high marks to Honor what they have done with this device. Now moving to the screen, it has this IPS LCD screen and it's having a massive 6.5-inch screen, and I was worried that the handset would be very heavy or something, but that's not the case. Even with the 6.5-inch screen, the handset is not that heavy. The weight balance has been done very well. And now moving to the screen quality is actually pretty good. It's IPS grade screen, full HD plus, not quad HD obviously. And by default, I would say the screen quality is good, but the default settings in the display is set to have punchier colors. So many people actually like it. It's like AMOLED saturated colors that you look. I personally am a person who likes more natural colors. Fortunately, there is a setting in that where you can put it to natural colors, because in videos I noticed that it was boosting the colors quite a bit. But nevertheless, I would say, considering the price point of this device, the screen quality is actually really good. Another thing that is not that great in mid-range phones is, these days all these phones in this price range have all the sensors, gyroscope, auto brightness and all this thing, except Samsung. But on this one, the auto brightness calibration has been done actually really well. And this is one of those rare mid-range phones where I didn't have to constantly actually fiddle around with the, brightness sensor. You can just leave it on auto brightness and it does its job. So that is also a nice thing. Now moving to fingerprint scanner. Again, it's a Honor phone, and generally Honor phones have very good fingerprint scanner. Same thing even with this one, as you can see. So no issues. And it also has face unlocking, and the face unlocking also works very well. And this is one of those rare phones. If the phone is just like this, if I just do it like this, it will unlock, do the scanning. You don't even have to hit the power button. Raise to unlock. As you can see, I'm not even touching the power button, and this works actually. As you can see, it just takes a second. So the face unlocking and fingerprint scanner is good. But again, guys, this is a big device, 6.53 inches. So definitely it's a two-handed device in my frank opinion. Now moving to cellular call quality, I tested this one with Airtel and I had no issues regarding cellular call quality. It was good. And now moving to the processor used on this. This is the new high silicon Kirin 710 SoC. This is again an octa-core processor. And I have to say, the improvements that I have seen on this phone compared to the last generation of Honor phone, I think so it's because of this processor. It runs on this custom UI that is known as Emotion UI. That's same again with Honor phones that we are seeing and stuff. It's a custom UI that you are getting. And with earlier generation of Honor phones, sometimes I used to notice some minor lag while using the phone. But again, on this one, no lag whatsoever that I'm noticing within the UI. It's very fast and responsive. And this is the 4GB RAM variant, guys, not the higher end variant. And here also no lag whatsoever. So I think so that is due to this new processor. And I feel this processor is also very battery efficient. I'll talk about the battery stats later on. So no lag whatsoever that I noticed in the UI. Multitasking is also good. But again, by default, it is a Honor phone. So memory management is very aggressive. But you can go into the settings and exclude some apps where you don't want it to manage it. For example, I disabled it for Truecaller and Twitter. Otherwise, the memory management is very aggressive. So you have to go in the setting and actually disable memory management, auto memory management for those ones. And once I did that, it was fine. Now moving to another thing is that this phone still retains the headphone jack, which is a good thing. And I did test it because quite a few of you have asked it. And I tested it with my trusty Audio Technica, this M40X. And the sound quality is sort of neutral, I would say. Initially I didn't like it that much, to be frank, but there is a setting inside this where it's known as the Heiston sound settings, and there when I went there and played around with the settings, I could get some very good sound. But there is a minor con, I'll talk about it. But overall, considering the price point, I really enjoyed the sound output on via the headphone jack on this one. But again, you have to go in that settings and play around with the settings and actually select the proper type of headphone. That makes a big difference. Now, moving to another thing that I liked with this one is, again, I didn't notice any overheating of this phone. Again, I think so that is due to the new processor, that is the Kirin 710. It's based on the 12 nanometer process. And even when I was using the phone heavily, multitasking, doing stuff, watching videos, etc., the handset does not get hot. Yes, slightly it gets a little bit warm at the back, but no heating that I have noticed. Now, moving to the battery, here I was very skeptical initially. It has a 3750 milliamp hour battery, but you also have that 6.5-inch screen on this one. So I was skeptical about the battery life, but I have to say you don't have to worry about the battery life on this one. The battery life is excellent. I was getting screen on time anywhere between 6.5 to almost about 8 hours easily with this device. And even with my regular usage, it was lasting easily over 1.5 days, guys. Yes, 1.5 days. And if you're sort of a casual user, this will easily give you 2 days of battery life. So battery life is also very good. But again, it has that standard port, micro USB port, no fast charger in the box. That's the only con. But in terms of battery life, the battery life was good. Now, moving to another thing, that is gaming. To be frank, guys, I am not doing a lot of gaming and I don't know how to play PUBG. Everybody wants me to play PUBG. I don't know. So I just tested this one with just one game, that is Asphalt 9 Legends, and I played it for about 20 minutes and it played that game fine. No lag whatsoever. But again, check with others for extended gaming. Now, moving to the camera on this one, as you can see, rear it has that two cameras. The primary is a 20 megapixel. The second is a 2 megapixel for depth, just namesake, I would say. And the front facing camera is a 16 megapixel. And as you can see, here are some of the sample shots that I've took with this one. And in outdoor lighting conditions, as you can see, the camera performance of the new 20 megapixel sensor is actually really good. I had no issues with that. And even in semi-indoor conditions, as you can see, it is actually doing a pretty good job in terms of color balance and all those things. But in very low lighting conditions, yes, I feel the camera might not be among the best in this price range, but nevertheless the camera is good on this. It's not like it's bad. Now, moving to the front facing camera, again here I see an improvement, 16 megapixel front facing camera, hence the pictures come out to be really sharp. It also tries to simulate this portrait mode, as you can see, but again with that I feel the background blur, it's just doing too much, so it'll kind of look fake. Hopefully they could fix it with the software. So yes, the camera certainly is good, but I'm not very sure if it's the best in this class. Maybe the Realme 2 Pro or even the Mi A2's rear facing camera in artificial and low lighting conditions might do better. I have to check side by side. Now, moving to video here, again I'm slightly disappointed because it's having this new Kirin 710 SoC, but no 4K option is there. So max is 1080p, and here is a video sample that I shot with this one. Recording this with the rear facing camera of the Honor 8X, and the maximum resolution for some reason is 1080p, though yeah, at 1080p it can go up to 60 fps, and I'm just walking around and I don't think so it has EIS enabled as of now. So if you walk like this, as you can see, the video can be a little bit shaky. Technically they can implement it EIS, but I'm not very sure if they will do it or not, and I'm very surprised why they didn't implement 4K, because this Kirin 710 should be able to easily handle 4K. But anyways, guys, this was a very quick video. In terms of focusing, as you can see, no issues, close up, and yeah, but yeah, this was a sample video with the rear facing camera. Now, recording this sample with the front facing camera of this Honor 8X, and by default the video recording with the front facing camera will be set only up to 720p because it also has that beauty mode. Only if you disable that beauty mode it can go up to 1080p, and I have disabled it, and this is at 1080p, and the audio is also being recorded via its internal microphone. So this is a very quick sample video with the front facing camera of this Honor 8X. So guys, these were the things that I liked on this device. Now let's move to the cons section. And the first thing that I did not like with this device is such a big device. They should have put, frankly, louder speakers on this. Even at max volume, when I was watching YouTube videos and stuff, I was pressing it again and again, hoping that the volume level would go higher. So strictly speaking, the volume level is just average. It's not total deal breaker, I would say, but sort of average. Let me just try to play back one of my own videos to give you an idea about it. I'll just try to do, and it's just a single speaker here. They should have gone with the dual speaker or something, because I feel a lot of potential with this phone, but yeah, the speaker is average.
Get the best veg and
Some
non-veg
ad is coming. This is the max volume, right?
Quick, order them online
I'll
on
make it max.
Zomato.
This is the max volume.
Normal one that you get, as you can see, it has a lot of buttons and stuff like a regular remote.
So,
and you also have a dedicated.
So it is kind of average, I would say, the speaker volume. That's the biggest thing. And wherever I was playing music and even taking calls while speakerphone, I felt that the speaker volume could have been louder. I don't know if they can make it louder with the firmware update, but to be frank, even the ringtone volumes are just average on this one. So that's one of my biggest con. And again, as I've already mentioned, the second con is in terms of video, no 4K and even electronic image stabilization is not there on this, that we expect at this price point, because most of the other brands for Mi 8 2, Realme 2 Pro, etc., all give electronic image stabilization. So I was surprised not to find EIS. Maybe they can implement with the software update, but as of now, guys, no electronic image stabilization on this one. And now moving to the output via the headphone jack. As I told you, in terms of sound quality, it was fine when I played around with that high-stand sound effects settings. But with these heavy headphones, etc., I had to keep the volume level at max, that is 100%. So in terms of amplification, it is not having a very, very powerful amplifier. So if you want to listen to sound very, very high volumes, then you might not like it. But for most users, I would say it's good enough. So to sum it up, I would say it's a pretty good handset. And if I have to summarize it, what I really like about this one is the styling on this one. It looks very premium in styling. Also in terms of build quality, the build quality is actually really good, much better than other phones that we get in this price range. And we have that big screen. If you like that big screen, you like it. 6.5-inch screen. Screen quality is good. I have noticed no heating on this, and even the battery life was actually excellent. Now moving to cons, no stabilization in the video. That speaker volume is the thing that I frankly feel why they did that. It should have been higher. And also slightly in terms of camera in low lighting situations, I feel some of the other devices do slightly better. But overall, I would say, considering the price point of this device at 15,000, it's a pretty good device. So again, I've divided it between the pros and cons. So it's up to you to decide if this one is right for you or not. And in India, it is selling via Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description area. So guys, that was my review of this Honor 8X. If you have any other questions, do let me know in the comment section below. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.